What childhood trauma does to your adult brain. When we talk about childhood trauma, we're not just talking about extreme abuse or catastrophic events. Trauma can be a parent who was emotionally unavailable, a home that never felt safe, growing up walking on eggshells, feeling invisible, feeling like love had conditions. These experiences shape a developing brain, and the brain of a child is not the brain of an adult. It's still being built, still learning what the world is. When the answer over and over again is no, the brain adapts. It has to. That's survival. Normal memories are stored like photographs. Trauma memories are stored differently. They're stored like live wires. They don't wait to be remembered. They fire, without warning. Things that shouldn't be a big deal, things that logically aren't a big deal, but they send you back instantly. Your heart rate spikes. Your chest tightens. You feel that old familiar dread, and you don't even know why. That's not overreacting. That's not being dramatic. That's a nervous system that learned to stay ready. Because at some point, staying ready kept you safe. Your brain is doing exactly what it was trained to do. Here's something that a lot of people don't realize. Trauma doesn't just live in your memories. It lives in your body, your posture, your breathing, your gut, your jaw. The way your shoulders creep up toward your ears when someone raises their voice. The way your stomach drops when you get an unexpected message. The way you hold your breath and don't even notice. The body keeps the score, even when the mind tries to forget. In fact, you might have spent years not thinking about your childhood. You moved on, you built a life, you told yourself it wasn't that bad. And then something small happens, someone cancels plans, someone gives you criticism, someone doesn't respond the way you hoped, and you fall apart in a way that feels completely out of proportion. That's not a character flaw. That's an old wound that never fully closed. Childhood trauma rewires how we attach to people, how we trust, how we handle conflict, how we feel about ourselves when no one is watching. If you grew up where love felt unpredictable, you might find yourself anxious in relationships, always waiting for the other shoe to drop, always scanning for signs that someone is about to leave or about to turn on you. If you grew up where your needs were ignored or punished, you might find it almost impossible to ask for help as an adult. You learned that needing things made you a burden, so you shut it down. You became self-sufficient to the point of isolation. If you grew up in chaos, you might seek it out without realizing it. Or you might become a rigid controller of everything around you because chaos once felt like danger, and order feels like the only safety you know. None of these patterns make you broken. They make you someone who adapted brilliantly to a very hard situation. The adaptation just costs you now. You can be 30 years old, 40, 50, and still react like a scared 8-year-old. Not because you're weak, not because you haven't worked hard enough, but because that child never got what they needed, and they're still asking for it. That child is still in there, still flinching, still hoping someone will notice, still bracing for impact. And here's what healing actually looks like, because it's not what most people think. Healing childhood trauma doesn't mean going back and changing what happened. You can't. It doesn't mean forgiving people who never apologized, or pretending your past wasn't real. It doesn't mean one breakthrough moment where everything suddenly makes sense and the pain dissolves. Healing is slower than that, and it's more personal than that. It means learning to recognize when your nervous system is responding to the past instead of the present. It means building new experiences that teach your body slowly, over time, that safety is real, that not every raised voice means danger, that not every silence means rejection, that you are allowed to have needs, that you are allowed to take up space. It means showing that child inside you that they are finally safe now, that you are here, that you see them, that you are not going anywhere, that the story doesn't end in that house, that you don't end there, because you didn't. You kept going. You made it here. And that matters more than you know. The work isn't about becoming someone new. It's about coming home to who you were always supposed to be before the world taught you to be afraid. That person is still in there, and they're worth going back for.